Welcome to Ridgewood Talks. Through this podcast, we will be introducing you to some of the leaders and legends in our village. We'll keep you updated about fascinating local events, and we'll dig into the town's hot topics and so much more. But first, let me introduce myself. I'm Jeannie Johnson, the founder of Ridgewood Talks and Ridgewood Walks. The goal of these initiatives is to create a kinder, more connected, and more vibrant community. I'm thrilled to be co-hosting this podcast with my good friend and all-around wonderful guy, Jordan Kaufman. We look forward to meeting with you weekly and hearing your thoughts on who and what you'd like to learn about in our beautiful hometown. Enjoy this episode.
Good morning, Jordan. How are you?
Hey, Jeannie. I want to just start by saying how excited I am about this guest that we have today. I think both of us are super pumped to hear our guest, Linda Caruso, talk a little bit about some of the work she's been doing with small business owners in Bergen County. But I also want to give you a chance to talk a little bit about a business forum that you're planning coming up later this month.
It's really exciting. So as everyone knows, the pedestrian plaza is coming back to Ridgewood, and I am helping out with some of the entertainment activities. And so we want to make sure that all business owners in Ridgewood are a part of this, whether they're in the pedestrian plaza area or not. We want to make sure every business in Ridgewood has a benefit from the pedestrian plaza. So we have created a passport to the plaza, which is very much in keeping with the theme, which is a summer-long heritage festival in Ridgewood. So each month we will be celebrating a different heritage, and how we broke it down is we used the restaurant community and sectioned up those restaurants and said, okay, this is where we have a high demographic. And so that's what we're doing. We're going to be marketing. In June, it's going to be the Americas. July, it's going to be Americana. August, it's going to be India, Korea, China, Japan. And September, it is to be Mediterranean and the Middle East. And in October, it's going to be Europe. So we're really excited about that. And we want to have all the businesses in Ridgewood participate in it. So to do that, we are having a business owners forum on Monday, April 24th from 8:30 in the morning till 10 a.m. And it'll be at Village Hall. All the business owners will be made aware of all the initiatives that we are planning, and we will give them an opportunity to get involved. We also want to create a very robust distribution list so we can have a constant contact mailer that goes out quarterly so all businesses can be connected. And then we're hoping to connect everyone through group spots through the application so business owners can talk B2B. So really exciting for our village.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. So just a reminder to everyone, Monday, April 24th, 8:30 a.m. at Village Hall is absolutely the place to be if you're a business owner in the community. And thank you, Jeannie, by the way, for all your efforts with the pedestrian plaza and just everything you do for the town. I think that's something probably we should throw a quick sidebar in there for as well. So let's get to our guest. Our guest today is Linda Caruso. She manages the Business Accelerator for Entrepreneurs program at Bergen Community College over in Paramus. She is a force to be reckoned with. She recently received the college's Economic Recovery Champion Award from the president. So we got some big guns here today. And at some point during the pandemic, she rallied the county executive, the commissioners, the director of the Bergen County Division of Economic Development, and the BCC president to join forces to develop a portfolio of free support services for entrepreneurs through Bergen County Business Resources Network. From what I understand, Bergen County helped local mom and pop shops by distributing over $55 million through the Bergen County CARES grant to help keep the lights on and their doors open. But Linda knew that more needed to be done for our small businesses, who, by the way, are the heart and soul of our country. And Linda wanted to provide something sustainable to help them thrive as they emerge from the pandemic. The CARES grant program features free tools like the Size Up software that provides small business owners with customized data on their business and market sectors. In other words, it breaks down how a business compares against its competition within a specific industry. And students from the Bergen Community College serve as consultants that assist owners with promotion, marketing, and data analysis. So this is a great collaborative effort between students and business owners. It sounds like a terrific program. That is a win-win for all. The businesses get access to information technology. The students get hands-on experience to learn about entrepreneurship and business consulting. I can't wait to learn more about this and how Ridgewood businesses can benefit from the program. So with that, welcome, Linda. Tell us a little bit more about these awesome programs that you're working on and just some more about yourself.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I'm actually very excited to talk to you about this. So the full credit for this program really goes to the county executive, Jim Tedesco, and his office. Post-pandemic, after they distributed all of those funds and had those grant programs, Jim Tedesco and Joanne Simaluka approached the college and asked them if they had any other ideas of how the college might be able to support this effort. And so we proposed this business consulting program. Probably within a few days, we constructed this. And the program that we had in mind was that students who are very digitally savvy and have strong technical skills, and many small business owners in Bergen County do not, that they would be a great match together, right? And that we would be able to pair up students with businesses to help support them. We then had to build the program. So we had to recruit the students, train the students, build a website to let businesses know that these services exist, because the students are only one part of the free services that companies have access to. On the website, www.bergenforbusiness.com, they will see there is a data analysis tool called SizeUp that they have access to. There is the ability to request services from a student. And then there is a section of the website that gives them the direct contact information for all of the other free business support services, both in the county and statewide. So things like free training. The state has a program to offer free training. The Small Business Development Center, the Job Action Center. So all the other resources that are offered. But our component was the students themselves and building that program. So we recruited about 25 students to start. We looked for students that had good communication skills, had a certain maturity about them. Remember, at Bergen Community College, we have 15,000 students here, and those students range from ages 8 to 80. So we have an incredibly diverse population, which really is very beneficial when building a program like this, because we have this diversity to match the diversity of the businesses that we're serving. So we recruited our first cohort of students who collectively spoke 7 languages. So we could deliver services in 7 different languages and really go out into the community and serve. We trained the students on some technical aspects of the job. We taught them how to use the data analysis tool. We got them business cards. We gave them soft skills training. We gave them critical analysis training. We knew that they had the technical skills, but we wanted to make sure that they were prepared to go out and, work with business owners that might be 10, 20, 30, 40 years their senior. So our first cohort launched in January of last year. It was an immediate success. Fast forward now 12 months, we've now had this program and we've helped over 700 businesses. It's been incredible. And so let me tell you a little bit about the kinds of projects that students work on. So first of all, through Facebook advertising, emails, and events that we attend, business owners find out about the program. They go to www.bergenforbusiness.com. They click on Request Assistance, and a very small form populates, and they fill it out. And basically, they're asked some basic information about their company, such as the website, the type of business they're in, the industry they're in, what language they would prefer to receive their consulting in, if they would prefer to meet virtually, in person, on the telephone. And then we ask them to choose from a menu of services to give us an idea of what they might be interested in doing. And some of those suggestions that we provide are, do you need a new logo? Do you need a flyer designed for an upcoming event? Do you need a website built or a current website re-energized? Do you want video introduced into your website or social media. We can make social media videos such as TikTok videos, Instagram videos, customer testimonial videos, which we put on businesses' websites. And then, of course, a lot of social media work. Can we help you design campaigns? So through an initial meeting, the student sits down with the business and they learn about the business. Tell me how you got started, what keeps you up at night, what problems are you trying to solve? And then together, the student and the business collaborate on designing their first project together. And then they meet periodically to check in on progress, but the student works very independently on that project and then brings the progress back to the client. So it's a very iterative process and very collaborative between the client and the business. Sometimes the projects are so enormous, like let's say, for example, we had a business in Teaneck that was relocating from another city and he needed everything, right? He was changing the name of the business. He was changing the menu of the business. It was a restaurant. And so we had an entire team of students work on various aspects of that project, including contacting local officials in the county and the state of New Jersey to attend the opening, to bring the press there. So there's really no limit to what the students can do. It's left up to their imagination and the imagination of the business owner. And they have, just done a variety of projects that have helped these business owners bring more customers through the door, create a social media or a website presence that didn't exist before. Sometimes it's as simple as they don't have a presence on Google. And so all of our consultants know how to create a Google business profile or update a Google business profile, respond to reviews on Google business, because Google business profiles that have video and responses get far more interaction than other Google profiles. So sometimes it's as simple as doing that, or a competitive analysis, or finding a new supplier. So it's all kinds of research and marketing. And sometimes we've had consultants research new locations for a business who want to move to a different town. And as I said, they have this tool that the county provides and pays for called Size Up, that the students and businesses use together, that helps them see what their competition is doing, see how they compare to other similar businesses in the county.
I just want to add to that, Linda, because I'm on the website Bergen for Business and I'm playing around with the Size Up tool. And I would encourage all of our listeners to go to bergenforbusiness.com and play with this Size Up tool. It's, obviously filling out information, talking to, some of the students and making that commitment for them to then take a look at your business and make sure you're hitting those, checking those boxes and optimizing what you're doing. That, for some people, it's going to take a little bit of, okay, what's this entail? But just going to the website and playing with the Size Up tool, it has so much information. It's fun. You're going to find yourself like, ooh, I want to check this out. It's definitely a nice entrance into seeing some of the power. I think that this type of program with the right person to kind of, cater you through or Sherpa you on your journey, it can show you a little bit of where, what is sitting behind the curtain. So I think that's a great starting point, is that Size Up tool.
That is exactly how one should approach it. You're 100% right. And the students can either take them through that tool if they feel overwhelmed by it. There's also very short tutorial videos on how to use the tool. Joanne Simaluka likes to call it a health card, right? It's like getting this checkup and seeing, where you compare on revenue, where you compare on how you pay your employees, where you compare on your social media. So it just gives them a great starting point for a conversation to then design a project together.
And this, not only is this great for the businesses, but I also think it's worth emphasizing how great this is for the students. I think it might be a little getting ahead of ourselves, but what are some of the hesitations that businesses might have in taking advantage of this great opportunity? I'll start with one that I'm thinking of, which is location. So this is obviously through Bergen County. Is this exclusive for Bergen County businesses? Or, what is the tie-in, the relevancy, let me say, of the tie-in to the county and this opportunity?
Well, the county has provided the grant to the college in order to pay these students to do this work. So the students are paid by a grant from the county, and the business owners do not pay for this service, right? So to your point, it is a win-win for students. This is outstanding experience on their resume. This is real world work experience that's very relevant, and in many cases helps them clarify their own career aspirations. You may or may not know that the statistics are somewhere upwards of 75% of high school students today will tell you that they want to be entrepreneurs. So that's a movement that's only getting bigger post-pandemic. And so students get exposed to the world of entrepreneurship and all of these different industries and how to start a business. But the county is our full partner in this in terms of not only the funding, but in planning the program. County Executive Tedesco has had the students in his headquarters. He has given them commendations. He's acknowledged their contribution to the county. We have events together where we invite small business owners to come and meet all of these resources in person, not only the students, but other county resources as well. And he knows these students on a first name basis, which is very impressive. He and the president and Joanne are all very vested in the long-term success of this program, and they'd like to see it be something that we continue to do over the years. I should mention that we get new cohorts every semester of students, because students obviously graduate, or sometimes they move on to another project more related to their major. For example, we had a STEM student that worked with us who then went on to, was designing a robotic arm. So, we do lose students through that type of process. We have a waiting list for students who want to participate in the program. We have no shortage of students who apply constantly for the program. So it definitely has the ability to have longevity here. We do use technology, like we use a database. The students all communicate through a common database. So any one of us can go into that database at any time and see the full history of activity with any client. We felt that this was important because anybody can pick up the phone and help any client at any point in time. So they do have their favorite consultants that they use, but at the same time, we can all participate with any client and help them.
This sounds like a powerhouse consulting business right here. This is pretty cool stuff. And it's really just such a beautiful vision and execution. I don't want to fawn too heavily over it, but it deserves it. So I want to ask you, for the benefit of our listeners, where can they learn more about how this can potentially work for them or fit for them, or what's the best way for them to, other than obviously going to bergen4businesses.com, what is some other ways that they can learn about this? Or is there a way for them to get testimonials from people that you've helped? How can the conversation, how can this find itself into the daily conversation of business owners in a greater way?
Well, one thing they can do is when they go to the website, they can subscribe to the newsletter, right? So the newsletter will give them information about upcoming events. For example, we have an in-person event on April the 12th where we've invited local businesses to come in and meet the consultants in person. And that goes back to your earlier question about hesitation, right? What is the biggest hesitation? Biggest hesitation is, does this really work? Like, these are students. Can they really help me? What skills do they have? So meeting them in person and seeing just how smart and capable they are. We certainly recruit the best of the best for this program here. We don't have a student with under a 3.8 GPA. They take 4 to 5 classes a semester. These are like high achieving students from various majors, by the way. It's not just business majors, because we believe at the end of the day that every major is a business major. I don't care if you're an engineer or if you're in health professions. Everything is a business at the end of the day. Learning the language of business. Computer programmers don't sit in a dark room anymore by themselves. They're part of collaborative teams. And so we encourage students from all majors to participate in this. And so when people come in person to these events, and meet the consultants, they're blown away by what the possibilities are. So I say, if you can't get to an in-person event through our newsletter that you find out about, fill out the form and have one introductory 20-minute meeting with a student. That's all you have to invest. Invest 20 minutes into a conversation and find out whether or not it's something that will work for you. Because, look, the business owners do have to do something, right? Because they have to guide these students. They have to share your vision. You have to share your goals in order for the student to be able to do the best job possible. So it does, take some of the business owners' time, but the payoff is so great that our business owners tell us time and time and time again, can I sign up for more? Like, I know I've already used, so much of this consultant's time, but can I sign up for more? And the answer to that is yes, as long as we don't have a waiting list of clients at the moment. Otherwise, we say, look, we'll put you on our list. And when we sort of get through this, we'll come back to you and we'll see if you want to do something else. That's usually what happens. They start out with a small project and then they say, this was so great, I would like to do something else. Now I want to make a video. Now I want to have you help me build a website. So they start out with something small, they dip their toe in the water and they find out that it really does work. And then they expand the scope of what they'd like to do.
Yeah. On top of that, Linda, I think, every business owner would benefit from going through this type of process, right? Going through something that's been catered and cultured to be disciplined and going and taking a look at all these different aspects that when we're business owners, you may be great at this thing. It's hard to be great at everything. And so a resource like this really opens the doors to finding those areas where you can improve and thinking, creatively through some of the opportunities. And I think this is fantastic just to continue to get this word out about this opportunity, which before we're doing this talk, I had no idea existed. Now I feel like, oh my God, why didn't someone tell me? Obviously, that's the goal of what we're doing here. We're trying to get that word out, and businesses should not hesitate to reach out, have a conversation, and just see where it goes. That conversation may be the most important conversation you have this year.
Yeah. So one thing we learned from the county, I think one of the best responses I've ever seen to the pandemic for small businesses, what this county did and this county executive and the economic development office did, they walked the streets, right? And went door to door to help people fill out these grant applications on their phones, right in front of them. And so one thing we learned from that really helped us from the very beginning was how much assistance these business owners were going to need through some very basic processes. And we tell students, don't be intimidated. Don't think that these people have all the answers. Just as you described, many people start a business because they have passion, but not necessarily because they know all aspects of how to manage that business.
There's a time factor too. Being a business owner, there's so many things are required of business owners. So the things that you're talking about, updating a website, getting a social media presence, responding to those Google reviews, it's all very, very important. But those sort of things fall by the wayside. This is perfect for those students to dip their toes into that and be an assistant to the business owners. I just love it so much. All right. So I want to know too, a couple of things. I know that you started something called the Latinx CEO program.
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit more about that too?
Yes. So through interviewing students for the small business consulting program, obviously we couldn't hire everyone that we interviewed because there were too many applicants. And some students weren't ready yet to be consultant. Might have been their first semester. Remember, these are 18 and 19-year-olds, right? Fresh out of high school in many cases, but not all. And so they might not have the communication skills yet or the confidence. And so we still wanted to do something for those students, even though they weren't going to be consultant right away. So we decided to create a spin-off organization called Latinx CEO. If you're unaware of the demographics here at Bergen, 52% of our students identify as Hispanic. And so we created a professional development program for Hispanic students and their allies. Everyone is invited to participate, where we provide opportunities for them to interact with businesses. So not as a consultant, but we take them on corporate visits. We have guest speakers come in and talk to them about interviewing skills. We have workshops for them. We help them build resumes. We help them write their LinkedIn profile. And we're finding several of those students now, through the first semester, have now transitioned into the small business consulting program. So we're finding it's sort of a beautiful pre-feeder to the consulting program, right? We're able to give them, and that's not the only purpose of it, but we are able to do that. But the real purpose of it is 80% of college students change their major at least once. Many students come in and we say, what do you want to do? And they say, I want to be in marketing. Well, marketing is very, very, very broad, right? There's digital marketing, there's advertising, there's social media. And so by providing these experiences, we're able to help them really narrow their focus and define their career goals. And we also teach them to set personal goals for themselves. So, for example, last week we went to visit in person Giavato Advertising. It's a mid-sized advertising firm in Paramus on Route 4. And this was the first time that many of these students had ever been inside of a corporation, right? And they got to hear the management teams, everybody's personal story about how they arrived at their career, what classes they took, what they majored in, what their path was. So the Size Up Consulting program has resulted in these, that's the first of probably many additional programs, with the goal being, my role at Bergen, I'm the director of Bergen for Business. So my role is to think about all of the ways in which students can have experiential learning opportunities with business.
I love that everything is touched upon here. We have businesses, we have realtors, we have corporations. You're covering it all. And so if somebody wants to become a mentor, can you just share your email address with us so people can reach out to you directly?
Absolutely. So my email address is Caruso, Caruso @bergen.edu.
Perfect. Listen, I can't thank you enough for spending time with us today and walking us through some of these programs. And congratulations on everything that you've accomplished, because it is really important that the work that you're doing is so helpful, again, not only to the student population, but to the business community of Bergen County. And again, I want to give a shout out to the county executives, the county commissioner, Joanne Semaluka from the Bergen County EDA, and of course, the president of Bergen Community College. Linda, we're going to wrap this up.
Thank you for having me.
If you have any comments that you want to share with us before we close this interview, go right ahead.
Oh, wow. Well, I think I've expressed everything I want to express. And again, I just want to tell businesses, please don't hesitate. Email me directly if you're hesitant to fill out the form first. I talk to many business owners. With over 700 companies that we've worked with, I think the results speak for themselves at this point.
Congratulations again. And I just want to say too, for the business owners that are listening, it sounds like there is a pretty long wait list. So like you said, people dip their toes into it. And so what you might want to do is sign up for more rather than less, so you don't have to wait. Is that right?
Yeah, and the sooner that they sign up, the better, in case there is a lag time of a couple of weeks, depending on how busy we are. The sooner the better, because it could be a couple of weeks before someone's able to get to them.
So do you have any parting words, Jordan?
No, I just want to remind everyone, Linda and the great people at Bergen Community College have an event on April 12th, I believe you said, Linda. Obviously, we've said it a number of times, but Bergen for Business, everything spelled out, .com, great resource. Linda, thank you so much for what you're doing. We hope to hear more about all the exciting stuff you're doing.
Jordan, thank you very much.